I think maybe even Dirty Jersey Rat. Dirty Jersey. Yay! I love that song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's always kind of funny as long as it's not totally harmful.
Yeah,
right?
people get aggravated very easily.
Yeah, as you saw with John Melendez, right? Yeah, so had you even known who he was at first?
I didn't. That was actually my first DoorDash of the day. And it was, my day was starting off kind of like up and down. And then I was like, all right, I just need to go drive. And then all of a sudden I get this first DoorDash and I was reading the notes and then Vince messaged me and I was like, you know, reading into it. And I'm like, well, this sounds like fun.
Well,
it kind of got my day going.
So how does it work? Do you have some sort of special app that tells you when there's a job?
Yeah, so the DoorDash app, yeah, each job pops up individually. I can either accept or decline based on the value of the job. If I'd like to take it for the amount, or I can decline it for the amount.
How much do you typically get paid?
With like regular like food orders, I try to pick up anything close to $10 an order. So I try to base it off of that, and then depends on how many miles. So if it's like a really good job, would be like $2 a mile. And then, you know, a pretty basic job is like $1 a mile. So I always try to accept the $10 an order for like 4 or 5 miles.
Oh, okay. So it has to do with how big the order happens.
Yeah,
to
if
be.
the order is bigger,
Yeah.
you'll get paid more for that, for sure.
But this was a tiny order. Why did you accept it?
Just the first one, it was very close to the house. And just to get started and get going, I kind of just accepted it. Yeah.
Wait, so are you allowed to tell us how much did you get paid for this?
So it was, yeah, I don't mind. It was, I think it was like $5.40 for the order to be delivered, which was like super close. It was like a mile from my house. So it was like, it wasn't bad. It was $5 for a mile, and just to leave my house and get paid for it was a good start.
Yeah, I guess it's good as long as your car doesn't get hit or break down though, which could happen, right?
And then I returned the item, and I ended up getting an extra $5 on top of it. So it was all in all, it was like a $10 order.
Oh, was it because of Vince?
It was, yeah, it had to be returned because since it was an alcoholic beverage, I had to scan John's ID, and he was not giving me his ID.
Okay, so what's the policy on that if someone, for some weird reason, rejects something?
You just return it back to the store, especially being like alcohol. Usually alcohol you have to take back. I think with, I haven't actually, that was my first return. Usually I always accept. Yeah, it was my first return. So
yeah, isn't that bizarre? Because usually people want food or drinks.
I don't know why he wouldn't have took the beer.
Because Heineken is not good enough for him. He doesn't like Heineken.
I found that out afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, and plus because he has this kind of weird love-hate relationship with Vince. Sometimes Vince is his friend on camera. Other times he's ranting and railing and saying, you know, you're dead to me. I'm never.
Yeah, and it's such a harmless prank. Such a harmless prank.
Yeah, but to him, you would think that you physically stabbed him in the back or something. You know,
he didn't like me knocking on his door. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so let's walk us through this exciting moment. So you got the order. Where did you get the Heineken from?
It was some 7-Eleven down the road from almost like about a half a mile from his house. Very close. Does
a 7-Eleven mean that the neighborhood is low class?
It's a no, not really. I wouldn't say 7-Eleven. More Circle K than 7-Eleven, I would say. But it's very like open land out where he's at. So it's very like it's like a house, and then like a whole empty lot, and then like another house. So it's like out in that area, it's very open.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm checking again. Vince is ignoring me, so I don't know what happened, but hopefully he's okay and alive. So
yeah,
he'll join us soon. Yeah, but I'm glad you're here to help me talk because I can't just sit here talking by myself. Yeah, so you went to the 7-Eleven. Did you have to use your own money to pay for it?
No, so the order is already prepaid for, but they do give us like a red card for like shopping orders whenever I do groceries.
Mhm.
And that card, you could just use that card to pay for everyone's order.
Oh, okay. So you just go and pick it up then.
Yeah, yeah. With 7-Eleven,
Okay.
it's like they shop for you and then you just pick it up and you could just
Mhm.
take a picture of it and walk out.
Oh, okay. So did you think it was really weird that someone would just get one beer?
Well, the whole thing when I was reading it, I was, and walk out.
Oh, okay. So did you think it was really weird that someone would just get one beer?
Well, the whole thing when I was reading it, I was, I was like intrigued at first, and then I was like, all right, well, let's hope nothing bad happens. But I'm all for it, and people order all. I've had such weird orders, so it doesn't amaze me.
Mhm. Like what? What weird?
I've
I-
had, sex toys. I've had pregnancy tests. I've had Plan Bs. It's just a lot of stuff you wouldn't expect people order it because they probably don't want to go out in public and get it themselves.
Okay. Yeah, so you just can't judge. It's like, okay, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, I
Help
just pick it up.
Yeah, okay. So what were some of the instructions that Vince gave you?
Well, he had told me that he wants me to make sure that John answers the door and that I keep knocking on it until he answers the door. Like I needed him to answer the door for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was arriving, I was making sure that I was banging on the door every time. Even when he walked back inside and told me not to knock again, I still knocked again.
Well, weren't you afraid that he would call the cops or come out and assault you or something?
Yeah, I've you take that into precaution, but me being a troll in a sense, I do like trolling a little bit, so I like pushing people to the edge, and I like to get their reaction from it. So if I'm told, to do something, and I don't mind it.
Oh, okay.
Especially with an incentive, you get paid a little bit from it, so got a little bit of extra from it.
Okay, so Vince paid you an extra $5.
I think he gave me an extra 20. So.
Oh, okay. That makes it a little bit more worth it.
Yeah.
So tell us what the house looked like.
I think it was a blue house. Blue, very, very small. It wasn't anything big. Just typical house, probably 3-bedroom, nothing crazy.
One story?
One story, yeah.
Did it look messy or clean?
The way he had it set up in the front with the chair in front of it was kind of funny. And then he had this sign that had Spanish on it. And I'm guessing a lot of people that come to his door or deliver are Spanish. So he probably thought, he definitely thought I was Spanish.
Okay, well, are you Hispanic?
I'm Italian.
Oh, okay. Well, do you know Spanish?
Very little. Un poquito. Enough to get past, because I had to speak Spanish at my other job. So it was very little bit that I could say just to get by.
Okay, that's cool, because that would have been funny if you spoken to him in Spanish.
Oh, I know.
Then.
Oh, I said no pedos.
Like, basta. Bandejo.
I should have said dale. Means come on.
Yeah, well, he did say andale, right?
Yeah, he did say andale, and he said no pedos, which I think that means
no
I'm
dogs.
not sure what that.
No dogs.
I don't think it's dogs.
Peril?
I think it means he don't want. I don't know if it means he doesn't want anything or he didn't order or something. It might be in that
quiero.
sense.
Yeah, no quiero. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I took a little Spanish also.
Yeah, I know a little few.
Well, so when you went to his house, were you expecting a big celebrity?
Well, he told me Vince told me he was famous. I wasn't expecting anything much in the area. Being here my whole life, there's people around, but you never really know. I've never seen his shows.
Yeah, same here. I never heard of him until
I used to watch Howard Stern back in the day, but I don't remember him from it.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe he was only there for, I don't know, a few years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you like in your 30s?
I'm 32.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I figured younger people would have no clue who John
is. They would have no clue.
Yeah. Okay. Well, walk us through. So you went up there. Oh, yeah. So in the picture, it looked like you had the beer in some sort of soft bag. What kind of container was it in?
It was just a Heineken. It was a aluminum can. It was in one of those plastic bags from 7-Eleven. And so yeah, I showed up and I was like a little nervous at first, but I was like, all right, let's just do this. And then I seen the sign and everything. And so I just started banging on his door. And then he was yelling at me from his camera and telling me to go away, and I can hear him. And so I kept banging. And then it just kept getting louder and louder. And he finally got pissed off and came to the door. And then he was telling me that he was going to punch me in my face if I keep knocking. And
Jeez.
so
That's an assault. That's technically an assault, threatening to
attack me. And he's going to call the cops on me.
Yeah.
And so I just kept knocking. As soon as he closed the door again, I just banged even harder. And then that's when he came
risky.
out.
That was risky.
It was a point where I knew at what time I had to leave, like when it was getting to that point.
Okay. Well, how tall was he compared to you?
Oh, he was short. And even standing up, he was still shorter than me on the ledge from his step. He was probably like 5'5", I would say. I'm 5'8". He had to be a few inches shorter than me.
Oh, okay. Well, did you notice his toes?
I didn't even look down at his toes. No, I saw the video earlier, and people were clowning on him because of that.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny when later on his live stream he said something about, I know you all are obsessed with my toes.
I heard
and I was
that.
like, really? We are? I wasn't, but that's so funny.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Did he smell?
Smell? The house, maybe, from the inside. Didn't smell like anything I was familiar with.
What do you mean?
Just, inside people's houses, everyone has like a typical smell. You kind of can base it off of that. But no, nothing too outrageous. Just one of those. It's just that home smell. Everybody has the home smell.
There's a home smell. Okay.
Yeah.
Like good or bad home smell?
Like he sits in his chair all day and just talks shit.
Permeates sweat,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So did you try to give him the can?
I kept trying to hand it to him. I was like, here. And I was pointing at it. And I was like, take it. It's your favorite. But I found out it wasn't his favorite.
Well, I mean, how did you feel when he started yelling?
I was just standing there blatantly staring at his face.
Well, were you trying not to laugh, or were you thinking, God, I should get out of here?
I was like, I wonder how far I could push this. Or how far does Vince want me to push this?
Well, I mean, forget Vince. What about your personal safety? Did you ever feel like he could take out something and attack you?
For being on his property in Florida, I mean, I have that thought just because how crazy Florida is.
Yeah.
But I don't think it might have never got to that. I wasn't scared. I've handled situations like that.
Like what?
I had so people get really mad at the way that I drive. And I had a gentleman pull up on me the other week, and he didn't like how I was driving, and he brake checked me in the intersection. This is what I was doing at DoorDash. And he ended up pulling into the gas station with me and getting out of his car, and he started pushing me. And I was telling him, I was like, yo, you're gonna have to back up and get in your car. Like, you shouldn't worry about how I'm driving, and you should leave. He pushes me again, and I was like, oh, we're not gonna do this. And I was like, I don't want to fight you. And he ends up pushing me even harder, and then I just knocked him out.
Well, I'm just wondering, what kind of bad driving do you do? Because people joke and say that I'm a bad driver just because of the way I look, which is not true. I'm a good driver. Darn it.
They do. Yeah.
But what do you do?
Everybody typically drives how they drive. So it's kind of like, I like to drive fast, and I like to weave in and out of traffic, especially when I'm doing orders. I like to get the orders done as fast as possible to get paid. So, I kind of just don't worry about other people, and I kind of stay aware to my surroundings, and I'm not gonna hit anybody, so it's more of people trying to hit me, if anything. And I'm a really good driver in a sense, but to other people I'm a bad driver.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not that great to work for DoorDash if you have driving issues, though, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you get a traffic ticket, that's your responsibility, right?
Yeah, I think if you get too many though, I think they do get notified about it, and you could end up getting reported, and you lose access to the job.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because it makes the company look bad. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, we have some super chats here. Thanks, Nick. Somebody sent Stuttering John tampons, Vagisil, Michael, and a douche Saturday morning. I don't know who, but I should have waited until he was live. Pics on my face. Really?
That's
This is
hilarious.
recently? Yeah, because people just like to goof on him. And, you know, it wouldn't be so funny if he just took the stuff and said thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his reaction that people just love because he's so funny and flies off the handle and stuff. So
He gets very aggressive, and he he definitely acts hard, and he's just a small man.
yeah, but you could have easily pushed him, right?
I try not to do. I'm not the
Yeah,
one.
you're not going to.
I don't instigate. Yeah, I don't instigate too much. I mean, if it happens to me, and like, then I'll retaliate. But if I'm not the one that's looking for any problems.
Okay. Thank you, Prince the lawyer. Okay, that's like a mocking Vince the lawyer. Joe, check out Lazy. I think it's his other channel is called Lazy Law.
Yeah, I'll check that
Network
out.
or something. Yeah, he has this video of the tour of the
cool.
house. Yeah, so if you really care to see what his house looks like. Thank you, Mark, for the super sticker.
Yeah, I heard he
thank
has
you for-
I heard he has somebody that I guess cleans his house for him now or something that I saw in one of the videos.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That was quite a while ago where I think he wanted Vince to pay $300 for a house cleaner. That
Oh, wow.
seems pretty excessive for a small
Yeah.
house. Yeah, what a waste of money. He should clean
Yeah,
his own
that's
house.
too much.
Oh, did you notice he had some sort of bandage or something on his wrist?
On his wrist.
Yeah, did it look dirty?
Maybe that's what smelled.
That was the funky house smell, you think?
That was probably it. He probably hasn't washed that hand in forever.
Yeah. Well, so what'd you think when he was yelling at you in Spanish?
Oh, I was like, he definitely thinks I'm Hispanic, and it's like that's why I'm like ignoring it because I have no clue.
Yeah, you should have said something in Spanish. That's hilarious. But
I think
you
I
look-
repeated him. I repeated him what he was saying.
okay. Well, he is half Puerto Rican, right?
Oh, is he?
But I don't think he speaks Spanish fluently. So.
Yeah, no, he's coming up with stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to tell because there are plenty of light-skinned Hispanics, like Cubans, for
Yeah,
example, or people from
especially
South
in Florida.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can't tell, but it's funny that he assumed you were some sort of Hispanic person.
It's because most drivers are Hispanic. I feel like that's the reason why.
Yeah, okay. So were you annoyed that he wouldn't take the beer?
Well, I also have to scan his ID for it, so I had a feeling at that point like he was not giving me that ID. Even if he took the beer, I would still have to scan his ID to complete the order, and that wasn't going to happen, even if he did take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that also wastes your time and money, right?
Yeah.
Because then you have to take an extra trip to return it.
Well, I found out that I got paid for the return too, so that was cool. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Well, where does that money come from?
I think DoorDash as well.
Oh, well, that's nice. Oh,
Just for
Vince
my
is finally here. Hey, late to the party. Hi, Vince. Welcome.
Hey,
How you
there he
doing?
is.
What
There he is.
happened? What happened?
Wahapa. I don't give excuses. I did have the wrong time though, so I wasn't diligent enough. But DoorDashJoe, I'm so happy to see you finally in
How's it going,
person.
Vince?
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
I asked him all the questions already, but
how big
Yeah,
his
you're
penis
you're
was?
a little late.
How big was your penis?
Huge, especially in that moment.
because you got to meet John. He's a real celebrity. He's great.
Well, yeah, Miss Judy, I sent you the link to the little video that they put together
Oh.
for us. Now, Joe, a lot of people didn't know if we knew each other. I said in life, there are certain times where it's kismet, where you just connect with the right person at the right time. And I sent you the message on DoorDash saying follow the instructions, and then I started the text with you on it, and you just said, I got this. I live for this. I live for being a troll.
Yeah.
And
It was perfect.
it was amazing.
And especially being my first DoorDash of the day. So it was kind of like, it got me going, and then I just had a great day after that.
Yeah, so to clarify, you didn't actually make this your first delivery ever. It was just your first of the day?
First of the day, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't know what you were saying with regard to that. Now, I send some of our texts to our friends, and they sometimes post them on X. I don't ask them to do it, but sometimes they do it. That's how people got our information. So after you did the delivery, I had sent it to my friends, and they posted it on X. And that's how John was able to track you down. But during the actual delivery, he tells us that you drive away backwards. Was that a technique that you use?
I just didn't want him to get my license plate. So it was kind of like a get out of there moment.
Didn't John
That's awesome.
say he did take his license plate info?
He couldn't get it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
John's
he
a
said that.
John's a liar. He thought you even had an Audi. He got the whole car wrong, right?
No, I have an Audi.
DoorDash Joe, it's your first day on the job. You're supposed to say, no, he got the car wrong.
It's a Toyota. Yeah. Wow. So why
John,
are you late?
John was questioning. I told you I thought at the wrong time. John was questioning the ability of you to own an Audi and still work for DoorDash. What's your explanation to that?
I mean, you get the car that you want. I've had a couple cars. Just depends on... Go ahead.
In Florida, the license plate isn't on the front?
No.
So you parked your car, you're able to back out. Do you see John running out of the house?
He was, heading out to the driveway. And he just kept following me all the way down the driveway. And instead of me pulling out and going forward down the road, I just decided to just back all the way out down the whole road.
Are you working right now?
I stopped for a few minutes. Yeah, I was.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be cool if we can actually see you do deliveries while we're going here. I don't know if that's against the terms of service, but
I don't know how it would be if I was to get out of the stream, because I have one phone right now. I don't have my other phone with me. I would be able to. I would use this phone, and then I would just join the live stream on my other phone.
When you took the original order, what actually is shown on your screen for John's order?
It popped up with I think it was Bob. I'm not sure. I don't remember the name. It might have been Bob. And then it just shows me what item it is and where to pick it up. And then once I accept the order, I just shows me the delivery address, and then I just head there.
Did you think it was weird that it was only one beer?
I get all types of weird items, so I don't question.
I asked him that.
Yeah, I just pick up the items and I drop them off.
What has been the weirdest delivery then, if that wasn't that weird?
I've had I don't know, I've had Plan Bs, I've had pregnancy tests, I've had, sex toys, I've had, and then the sex toys being dropped off at the weirdest locations, like hotel late at night.
Oh,
And,
of course, that's not weird if you're getting a sex toy.
Yeah.
Where did you get the toy from?
Well, Walgreens.
Walgreens?
Yeah.
They sell them?
Yeah. Those little roses or whatever. They have a bunch there, actually. I'm surprised.
What's
My friends
rose?
actually wanted me to knock on the door of the hotel room, and instead of bringing them the sex toy, I offer myself.
Yeah, but I'm sure you would want more than what a little toy would cost, right? You're not.
Oh yeah, I'm going to get the full price. I'm charging.
Well, I don't know if I am joining late. I don't know if Miss Judy told you, but she is into sex toys. She's into bondage. Her first husband and her would go to sex clubs in Florida.
No,
actually,
you're getting things wrong. Don't listen to Vince. He exaggerates. He gets facts wrong. He's lying.
Well, Miss Judy, the club you went to was in Florida, right?
That was with an ex-boyfriend, the cross-dresser.
That's what I said. But the club,
no,
the bondage clubs.
You get
fine, ex-boyfriend.
Wrong.
The bondage club was in Florida, though, right?
Yeah, near Miami.
Oh yeah,
See?
Miami. That's the place for it.
Yeah, but see, I wasn't really into it. Let's move on. So
She only went four. She hated it so much. DoorDash Joe. She only went 4 times.
It was only because of his pleasure, not mine. See what a good sport I am.
Have you ever dated an Asian, Joe?
No, I haven't.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah. Well, I'm
I
sure
always
there's
tell my
lots
friend
of
I'm gonna get married
Latinos.
to an Asian.
Well, you
Yeah,
could
that's
probably
smart.
get a mail order person. Yeah, that's probably pretty easy. Yeah. There are Asians in Cape Coral, aren't there?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I definitely want to. They're out here. They're around.
Okay.
They're
Great.
smart.
All right.
They're smart out here.
Yeah.
Well, they're
What's
smart
this?
everywhere.
Yeah,
Hi,
that's
thank
true.
you. Thank you, Johnny. Hey, Miss Judy, can you ask Joe how tall he is? F.U. Vince the lawyer.
Great question. No, it's a great question.
5'8"?
I'm 5'8". Yeah, 5'8".
Yeah. And he said he was not intimidated by John.
No, not at all.
Oh, we know that. You were actually amazing in your first performance, because even I would get afraid if I saw a little man like that getting so angry, right? Because you never know what's going to happen. And I think it's a good segue, if you have the time right now, DoorDash Joe, to see the video. We're going to see like a little history. I know that you know a little bit about John,
Yeah.
but Miss
Okay.
Judy, I sent you the
I know.
video. Yeah, okay.
I
yeah.
got it. But I want to do this real fast because I sold this as the legal issues of DoorDash. So John claimed that he was going to try to get a restraining order. And I was like, who? Against Vince? You know, just because you ordered him a gift? So then he started talking more. So it's more like, was he going to get a restraining order against Joe, the delivery person? And it just doesn't make sense. But he got mad when I said that, look, I don't think you meet the grounds to get a protective order against anyone in this case. So usually it's for domestic violence. Someone beats you up, your boyfriend, girlfriend, somebody, you know, comes and stalks you and threatens you and stuff. So it's very rare to get one if there was no actual physical assault. So, I don't think it arises to the level of stalking or severe emotional distress. So
No.
anyway, so that's enough legal stuff, right? Because
And I probably won't ever be his delivery driver again. You know, it's
Yeah.
always a different person most of the time. I rarely have repeated customers.
Oh, that's strange.
Well, he does get a lot of deliveries, so don't put yourself down. There's always a chance that John Edward will get a delivery even today, and most likely it could be you. Now, I only ordered one beer just as a goof, and John and I have a long history, as we're going to see in this video, of doing this for entertainment purposes. We both utilize it for content, so there is a legitimate purpose for all the deliveries. And you can attest, DoorDash Joe, that it was prepaid, correct?
Yes.
And you were tipped, I would say, nicely, considering
Yes.
the price of... Okay.
Very good. Yeah.
yeah. How much was the beer? $10?
4.
What?
But I
Was
had-
that cheap? Oh. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. I live super close to him, so I'm surprised I wouldn't get more DoorDashes for him.
yeah. Well, maybe you will.
I'll show up.
Well, didn't he already tell you to get lost? So that would be trespassing if you returned, and he already told you.
Yeah,
to
but I'm
stay
still
away.
doing my job.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know, we'll see. I'm sure the district attorney's office has better things to prosecute. So, but you could face up to 60 days, I think, in jail.
That's
for
nothing.
That
Don't worry
sort of
about that.
misdemeanor. Yeah, I'm just saying. But this is not legal advice. This is so-called entertainment. So,
DoorDash Joe can do 60 days on his head. That's
I
nothing.
can handle that.
free food. Yeah.
Oh, and hey, Adam.
Hey, Dirty Rat.
Dirty Rat's a good boy. He is. Check him out on the YouTube channel.